Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. For the new people here, first of all, welcome. My name is Roberto Blake. I'm a creative entrepreneur, public speaker, and today I want to talk to you about 7 life-changing habits that are going to help you work harder and smarter without feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and burnt out. A lot of entrepreneurs and content creators talk about hustle all the time. I'm one of them. I believe in a strong work ethic. I believe in meritocracy, but I also believe that a lot of what you miss reading in between the lines is that top performers in the world have a lot of healthy habits that you may not have and that you may not even be aware of, the bad habits that are leaving you exhausted, fatigued, overwhelmed, and just burnt out. And it's why hustle can feel like abuse, because someone telling you to work harder when you are already run down and can barely do the work that you're getting through every day, yes, I can understand how that feels insulting or abusive or dismissive, especially for a lot of you that have circumstances that feel beyond your control. So today I'm gonna give you some of my best advice and 7 life-changing habits for productivity, better overall health and well-being. And by the way, not a doctor, not a clinician, physician, none of those things. I'm just gonna be talking to you about some of my own experiences with this and the information that I've read up on that ultimately I feel changed my life, and is why I'm not somebody who had a heart attack at age 30, because I think I was well on my way to that. So let's get into the video. So the first thing is you need to be getting enough sleep and rest to re-energize. For one thing, that's how your body regenerates, and it's also going to help you not suffer the effects of sleep deprivation, which are gonna completely destroy your productivity and your focus, as well as cause you other problems with your body. It's something that I would definitely look into if I were you. What's recommended by most people is get 6 to 8 hours of sleep and to wake up early for productivity by going to bed a little earlier. Now, with me, I'm someone who used to suffer from insomnia, and I'm gonna get into how I kind of got through that here in a moment. But one of the most important things is to understand your own sleep pattern and sleep cycle. Not all of you are going to be able to have like a smartwatch or an app that helps you with that. So I recommend just doing kind of some research on it. One of these days, I'm gonna be doing one of those morning routines or why I wake up at 5 a.m. videos, but I will tell you that there's nothing like getting enough sleep. And when you can't get enough sleep in, let's say, a 6 or 8 hour cycle directly, what I'm gonna tell you is that if you are someone who can't do that all the time, and then you have to go to work, when you get back home, before you even think about doing anything with your leisure time, before you pick up the phone, go on social media, watch YouTube videos, even if they're from me, play video games, whatever you think you're gonna do to relax or unwind, just go to sleep instead. If you have any spare time and you're saying you're tired, you're exhausted, and you're run down, I would highly advise you to just start taking more of that back for sleep so that your body can rebuild. Because if you're already like in pain and you're struggling, getting a little bit more sleep will go a long way. Number 2 is gonna sound obvious. It's gonna be exercise and also good cardio and circulation. One of the things you'll notice when like people like Gary Vaynerchuk or Dan Lok or anybody talks about hustle, whether they're for or against it, these people are also very healthy and they have a workout routine. Some of them even have personal trainers. The average person doesn't have a personal trainer. I don't even have a personal trainer, not yet anyway. And the thing we have to do is we have to take better care of ourselves by working out, because even if you already feel tired and you might feel like, wow, I'm gonna spend even more energy by doing workouts and exercise, the thing is it will build your strength and stamina, and it will also help with flexibility and your muscles and your blood circulation. This is gonna help you with focus and with fatigue. It's also gonna help you by boosting you with adrenaline. Here's the other great thing about it, especially for me when I do this in the morning, whether it's going for a light run or doing push-ups or even just having fun playing with the dogs, doing something active like that gets my heart rate and my circulation up first thing in the morning, which helps me power through my workload, and it just kind of sets a nice pace and tone for the day. If you remember when you were a kid, they used to have us do either let's play around the playground first thing in the morning. They'd also have us do morning exercises, and then we'd still have gym class. By having ourselves be active and moving around throughout different parts of our day, especially after sitting down for hours on hours where we're not getting circulation, where blood's pooling in the body in different places, where we're not stretching our back muscles, like these are things we need to do. Just keep in mind that like old world humans used to constantly do back-breaking labor all day long, and we've kind of evolved and been built for that, but yet we're indoors all day, and there are other issues that slow us down and break down our bodies and make us less productive when you consider that fact. So getting a little bit of exercise goes a long way. You don't have to do a big major workout routine, lift a bunch of weights, even though I recommend that. It really does help if you build up strength in your body so you can perform better. But what I will say is even doing a little bit of exercise, going for a walk for 20 minutes a day makes a huge difference. Earlier, I talked about my insomnia, and also I deal with a lot of general anxiety. That was heightened even more when I was addicted to coffee. Coffee is something you can become addicted to the point of having 3 and 4 cups of coffee a day and feeling like you need that in order to get through the day. That is a real problem. And so in weaning myself off of coffee to where Starbucks, it's not that it's like, oh, you can't have lattes anymore. I do that every once in a while as a treat for myself, but I found that it was causing me more anxiety, insomnia, and a lot of other problems where I was very wired and where I was a lot more, everything was just a lot more intense. And I found that it was really affecting me and it was affecting my behavior. And when I stopped drinking as much coffee and eventually kind of quit caffeine and energy drinks and sugary drinks, like I was doing Red Bull and all kinds of things, and on top of coffee, bad idea. Those things are not good for you long term. And so I would say by leaving behind sugary drinks and caffeine, you'll notice an actual difference in your behavior. And I know that actually affects brain chemistry. You can read up on this yourself. But what I will say is that I found myself not having nearly as much insomnia. My personal experience was that most of my insomnia was directly tied to how much sugar and caffeine I was consuming. And when I changed that habit, things got better for me. So what I moved to was doing things like drinking tea and using natural sweeteners like honey. And I feel like it was all for the better. The other thing is that coffee dehydrates you. If you're going to still drink coffee, or you need at least, that one jolt or whatever, then I would recommend that you balance it out by hydrating even more, which kind of leaves us to the next tip here. The next habit that you should address is hydrating. I use an app on my smartphone called the Water Minder app to remind me to constantly drink water. I order water by the caseload. Granted, I'm in a position where I can do that. For a lot of people, what they do is they walk around with a water bottle to kind of help them out with this. Whatever you need to do, I would recommend that however much water you're consuming right now, you consider doubling it, because it's probably not enough. Recommended usually for most people is 64 ounces, but look into what's right with you. And if you need to, for all and any of this, consult a doctor. Like, don't just look up stuff on the internet, which I'm guilty of doing all the time, but consult a doctor and figure out what's right and appropriate for you based on your body mass, your weight, and your age. And then try to just make sure that you're creating good habits around what you consume in general. Now, in addition to like cutting out, sugary drinks, like Red Bull, I also tried to cut out as much carbonated drinks and soda as possible. I still do that on occasion, like when I go to the movies, or I do it as a treat for myself, but it's not part of what I regularly consume anymore. The other thing that you might want to look into is getting tested for food allergies. There's a lot of stuff that you don't realize you're allergic to. And just because you're not having a severely adverse reaction, you can never tell how much damage you're doing to yourself over time. So I would get tested to see if you have certain food allergies, and also just be more conscious of what's in the food that you eat, especially restaurant food and fast food. There could be things in there that you don't realize you're allergic to in terms of either chemicals that are used in the process or some of the ingredients themselves. Even if they're natural, you might have an allergy to them that you don't realize. So I would really suggest that you look into that and talk to a doctor so that you could change some of your eating habits, because I have a friend who didn't realize that they had a minor gluten allergy, and it was a big deal. So you just don't take these things for granted. Go get checked out. When I was a 9-to-5 employee, busy work was a real problem, and you always wanted to look productive. And a lot of you might feel like you want to brag about like how long you worked without taking a break. It's not that good. It's a bad idea. What you really need to be doing is every hour to 90 minutes, get up, get some circulation, take a break. Also, you need to realize that when you're looking at screens, whether it's a computer screen or whether it's your smartphone, that we're looking at screens so much and we're not blinking. When I was a kid, my mom and dad used to tell me, stop sitting in front of the TV or stop sitting so close to the TV, you're gonna hurt your eyes. And now all we do is sit in front of screens that are much brighter than any tube TV that I grew up on, and we watch it and we don't blink. And what you're doing is you're drying out your eyes, you're damaging your eyes. So there's a couple of things to this. Number one, blink more. That's really helpful. Two, if you wear glasses, consider using glasses that block blue light. Those are the kind of glasses that I tend to use. Try to adjust your distance away from the screen and just not be like right up on it like that sometimes. Something I even think about. And one of the other things I'll tell you is, again, get up and move. Get that circulation going. Do not sit in your chair or at your desk for hours upon hours upon hours. It's really bad for you, not only for circulation, but also for your back and your muscles. I had real problems with this with my binge editing sessions. And also I wasn't in a comfortable chair. Consider changing your chair and getting something a little bit more comfortable. It's an investment, it costs money, but you know what? It makes a real difference. I had Main Gear, they're not a sponsor, but they sent me a chair. They sent me this amazing editing chair. It's about like $300. And it changed everything for me because I was experiencing a lot of back pain that was making it a chore to edit and made me not even like editing anymore. And then when I got this chair, getting the cushioning, the support, it was so comfortable that it made a real difference. And I stopped having a lot of these aches and pains in my joints that were, in my mind, being associated with editing. Editing was becoming physically painful and something I didn't want to do. It was holding my content back. So now, between having a standing desk and having another editing station where I have this great chair, it's made me really able physically to make content the way I want to and helped my productivity. So consider getting a standing desk, get a comfortable chair. If not, don't spend hours upon hours in front of a screen, not blinking, sitting down, getting no blood flow and circulation. Get up and move. That's more than one tip. It's a couple of them. The other thing is go outside every now and again, get some sunlight and fresh air. There might be allergens and things in the air. So wherever your workstation is, whether you're at work, whether you're at home in your office, consider the fact that you might need to dust more regularly or see if there's mold and things you might be breathing in, sorry about that. Things you might be breathing in, get some fresh air, get some vitamin D from the sun. Those things will help. Last but not least, address your nutrition. When I was a cross-country and track runner, I had much better eating habits. And there are things that didn't stick with me when I became an office employee. And then even in the early days of being an entrepreneur, it was a lot of eating out or, going and eating at, these restaurants and not always eating as healthy as I possibly could. And even with eating healthy and eating cleaner, I still wasn't getting a right amount of nutrition. I wasn't getting enough fruits and vegetables. And so I moved to doing much more greens and veggies in my diet. Immediately saw a difference in my productivity and my energy levels. Whenever I need something sweet or, something because I cut a lot of sugar out of my diet, I go with fruit and it's refreshing and it helps with the hydration. It helps everything else. So ultimately, I feel like there's a chance that you, one, might be eating in the wrong portions, but also just because you're full and you feel satisfied, that's not the same thing as your body getting the nutrients it needs to produce the fuel for you to work. No matter how hard you work, if you're running on empty, if the tank's empty, it doesn't really matter. So I want you to really think about how you can, address your body, because my final thought on this is that a lot of you, when it comes to hustle and hard work, you only think about time management. You don't think about energy management. And that really comes with the habits and things you do with your body and how you address that. So I really wanted that message to go out today. This is not a video that I expect to get a lot of views on. This is not a video that YouTube typically promotes when I do this kind of thing on the channel, but I do think it's important and that might change the lives of those of you who are watching it. So please share it out. Share it in Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, wherever you can to help more people who might be feeling exhausted, run down, overworked, and overwhelmed. Because I promise you, It's not that working hard is the problem, it's that you're running on empty. And if you can address that, then you can reach your real potential and you can work harder than you've ever worked without running yourself into the ground, because you'll be working more efficiently and you'll be doing it with a lot more fuel in the tank. And that's gonna take you further than you've ever thought. So, question of the day. What's one habit that you're going to change and commit to right now? I'd really love to hear from you in the comments. What healthy habit are you going to change that you think is gonna have the most impact for your work? Or what is a habit you've already changed that you wanna tell us about that you've seen give you massive productivity gains? I would really love to hear from you. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome stuff here on the channel. Don't forget, we've got a new series that I'm launching on how to start a podcast if you're interested in that. Plus, links to my podcast, the Create Something Awesome Today podcast, will be in the description down below. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching. And don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.